Oh boy, things are getting quite interesting here. I wonder why this happened. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you are new. All right. And if you would like to help me out even further with the YouTube algorithm too, to get these videos out to more and more people. All right. Watch this video to the very end. It helps out tremendously. I would greatly appreciate it. And with that being said, let's dive in.
Fox News Alert, this news is just breaking right now. The lead attorney for Hunter Biden, gentleman by the name of Christopher Clark, apparently asking the judge for permission to get off the case. Remember, there's a noon deadline where the judge wants an answer as to what Biden's team will do next. David Spunt, following all that, tells us what it means now from the Department of Justice. David, hello.
Bill, Dana, hello. This is significant news in the sense that Chris Clark, not only the lead attorney on this case, but a close confidant of Hunter Biden for several years. He has represented Hunter Biden before he asked to be removed to federal judge Mary Ellen Noreika. He is trying to get off this case. He was the lead architect of this plea deal with the Department of Justice, and it fell through in public in the courtroom on July 26th. Abbe Lowell, a Washington powerhouse attorney here in the District of Columbia, is now representing Biden in this case. Lowell has also worked with Biden before. Lowell is on the right side of your screen. That's Mr. Clark on the left side of the screen with the glasses. Now, Hunter's team is well aware of the 2 tax violations that were supposed to be part of the plea deal but are no longer and may go to trial. However, Abbe Lowell insists that a diversion agreement to avoid jail time for a gun charge is already signed by the government and Hunter and is valid. In their filing, they wrote the defendant intends to abide by the terms of the diversion agreement that was executed at the July 26 hearing by the defendant, his counsel, and the United States. The parties have a valid and binding bilateral diversion agreement. But we'll see what Judge Noreika says. And she had some big problems, Bill and Dana, with this diversion agreement inside the courtroom in Wilmington, Delaware. Now, David Weiss is the now special counsel investigating this case. He just sat in a courtroom not only a few feet away from Hunter Biden a few weeks ago and was prepared to enter into this plea deal. The case will move toward trial, according to the United States, likely in Washington, D.C. or California or both. That filing from Hunter Biden's team came out on Sunday, and Judge Noreika is giving the government until noon today to give us some kind of roadmap to see where they want to move forward. We know the plea deal's dead, but what do they have to say?
Shout out to that judge for saying, not so fast. Shout out to that judge for giving the finger wave like the King Bay Matumbo. No. You ain't about to slide off like this. Nah. You thought. But that attorney, man, said, nah. This is smelling bad right here. Let me get on out of Dodge before this thing gets ugly. Absolutely incredible stuff. But let's continue on.
See where they want to move forward. We know the plea deal's dead, but what do they have to say? We'll see here in a few hours. Back to you.
Thank you, David Spunt, with that breaking news from DOJ. Thank you.
Really interesting. For more on this, Brett Baer, special report anchor. I was just thinking, since that Chris had been his lawyer for so long and is confident, but the situation has changed dramatically for the Biden team, and bringing on Abbe Lowell officially to take on this case, I think it would probably make sense that if Chris had been the one that was negotiating with the Justice Department for the plea deal, that it probably makes sense for him to not be the person who is going to try to clean up the mess on the other side.
Right. Good morning, Bill and Dana. I think, according to Delaware statute, he can't be the lawyer for Hunter Biden anymore because he's a potential witness here in how that plea deal was structured and how it was negotiated. So by lending himself to being a potential witness by Delaware statute, he can no longer be the lawyer. The crazy part about this,
he's out of there. The lead guy's got to go.
This whole thing is that plea deal unravels in court. Why? Because a judge digs in and says, wait a second, what is this? And essentially buried in the language is a broad immunity deal that they had structured, that essentially he would not face anything else. And she went down that road and figured it out, and then it all came apart.
How shameful is that, though? How sneaky are these little you-know-whats, okay? I'm going to keep it PG here, but how sneaky and dirty are these you-know-whats? These little rats. You know, these little snakes. I guess I shouldn't say rats. Snakes. That's why we keep our grass cut low, you know, so we can see them slithering through. Shout out to the judge. She caught it. She caught him. But sneaking, the wording in there to make sure, oh, after this, nothing else will come about. And if you try, hey, look, right here on page 2 in the fine print, this is what we agreed to. You know, and I found that they would do this with bills that they would pass as well, right? That's one thing that I've learned throughout this journey is that they'll name a bill one thing, right? Inflation Reduction Act. But in that bill isn't just things that reduce inflation, right? It's $500 million for Michelle Obama's biking trail. You know, like, what the F does that have to do with inflation reduction? You know, and then when Republicans come in and say, oh, no, absolutely not. We're not passing this bill. The Democrats say, oh, well, they're not trying to pass the Inflation Act. Look, they don't want inflation to come down. Those are the games that they play. And I'm so glad that I'm like now aware of the BS that happens. So when like people in my day-to-day life try to point that out, I'm like, no, go read the bill. Go read it. I mean, it's going to take you a while, but just go glance at it. Just skim through it. And you tell me if that's all about inflation. That's why Republicans said no to it, right? Or that's why Republicans said no to whatever bill, because it wasn't just simply that bill. Just like his plea agreement, it wasn't just simply about the things that were stated in the fine print. It said, oh, he's immune from everything else. Like, come on, man. That's BS. Rules for thee. No rules for me. Of course, when you're a Democrat or Joe Biden's son.
They had structured that essentially he would not face anything else. And she went down that road and figured it out, and then it all came apart. I think how that plea deal was negotiated and what exactly went into it is now going to be a part of, proceedings going forward.
Absolutely shameful stuff. Absolutely shameful stuff, because nobody else would get that. Not under those circumstances, right? But of course, he's a Democrat and he's Joe Biden's son. So yeah, hand it to him. Give it to him. Sheesh. I'm so happy the judge caught that one. Seriously, I'm so happy that she caught it, called it out, stopped it. And now his lead attorney has to skedaddle, which I'm sure is definitely a huge adjustment, right? When the lead guy has to hop off of the case, But do you guys think, question of the day, or question of this video, do you guys think Hunter will actually serve any jail time? Let me know. Honestly, I feel like it would be in Democrats' best interest to throw Hunter in jail, because then it won't look as bad if they try or continue to pile on and try to throw Trump in jail. I mean, it's still going to look bad, right? But to far leftist Democrats who, are going to be really hard to convince to vote Republican, it's going to invigorate them, So honestly, it'd probably be best if they did. But in my humble opinion, I don't think that they will. I don't think Joe's going to allow them to, in my humble opinion. I think there's a few of them who want to because of what I just said. I'm sure they're behind closed doors. I don't know this for a fact, so don't hit me with no misinformation. This is just me speculating, right? But I think there are some Democrats behind the scenes, some elites, who are saying what I just said, right? It's going to make us look good to X group of people if we throw Hunter in jail and then we continue to go after Trump, because then we could say, oh, it's equal justice, right? That's going to be their new line, equal justice. Nobody's above the law. That's going to be the thing that they try to push. But I think Joe is going to stand in the way of all of that and say absolutely not. It's a piece of lint just went in my eye, or dust or something. Like I said, I think Joe's going to stand in the way of all of that and say absolutely not. That's what I think is going to happen. But that's just my humble opinion. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button before you go. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.